And next weather meteorologist Nick Marianos joins us now. You've been tracking some rain on the radar tonight, Nick.
Yeah, we've been seeing a good amount of storms coming in across parts of Broward County, especially north of Broward, where we're seeing some of the lightning in place. In terms of the beaches, a lot more cloud cover and some light showers that have been moving through. But overall, we're on the quieter side of things. We are seeing another batch of storms coming in across parts of the Everglades, far northwestern portions of Broward County. Otherwise, much weaker showers are moving in across far southern Florida, including here and across portions of the metro. But the big picture looking like this as these storms continue to roll in from the north. We've been tracking these for you because some of these have been producing some lightning, but then we're seeing a big lack of lightning count as we get further down to the south. So what this means is in our portion of the state, right, we're seeing much weaker storms. So not much energy in the atmosphere for these storms to work with, but that's a different story well to the north. These storms have really been packing a punch with lightning strikes, some stronger wind gusts. But fortunately here, we're not seeing that, but we are picking up so much needed rainfall. Next weather radar showing this, some rainfall coming in, some light showers coming in across parts of the coast, even including Fort Lauderdale. Back to the west, however, we are following another round of storms, including some lightning strikes coming in from the northwest, pushing down toward the southeast. You can see Weston here. This is where the fires just to the west have been following. Meteorologist Dave Warren and myself are just looking at this because moving into already an area that's been worked over by some earlier storms, meeting a stable atmosphere. So we don't expect to see that to ramp up much as it moves further south into the parts of the metro. Also some showers coming in right over Miami International Airport, some heavy rainfall here. That's going to continue to advance toward the east, again with some rounds of heavier rainfall, but we're not looking at much lightning with that. So overall impacts not to be too substantial with this. Down to the southwest over the Keys, fairly quiet picture right now, but we will see some more of those showers picking up later into the day. Miami Beach, by the way, holding on to temperatures a bit cooler, 82 degrees. It feels like close to 90, but earlier today we had that heat index that was closer to the triple digits, even low 100s earlier into the day. That forecast tomorrow, if you are planning to head to the coastline, temperatures getting back up into the 80s there. We will see another round of showers picking up by the afternoon, but that's your timing, especially after 1 o'clock. We will have a better chance of these showers and storms coming into the mix. Meanwhile, earlier into the day, much quieter picture in place. So here's that rain tracker tomorrow morning. So you're heading out the door. Some light showers can't be ruled out over the Keys, but by the afternoon hours, we will see a better chance of some of those showers and storms coming into the mix there as we get into the afternoon hours. Later this week, that's when we start to see some quieter picture coming into the mix. But additional to that, on Friday is when we have the start of the rainy season. So fortunately, if you're trying to make those plans, we're not going to see that activity. Mother Nature's going to follow the calendar, but we are seeing some signs not too far in the distant future of that rainy season really ramping up.
Time to move my umbrella from the trunk to my front seat.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, Nick, thanks so much.